Do you actually need your spleen? Sure, you know the difference between your hammies and your glutes, but you're probably not as knowledgeable about the many organs packed inside your bod. Case in point, the spleen. It's a spongy little thing located under the rib cage on the left side of the abdomen that helps ward off infection by keeping your blood clean, says Rakhi Vaidya, MD, an assistant professor of hematology and oncology with Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center. In other words, it's way more important than you think. Let's continue the flashbacks to high school biology class, shall we? Read on to learn 7 key facts about your spleen. 1. It helps filter blood. Think of the spleen as the immune system's best supporting organ. Its main job is to filter blood, and it also filters certain bacteria from our bloodstream, says Vaidya. The cashew-shaped organ, which measures about the size of a fist, clears out bad bacteria that can cause infections like pneumonia and meningitis. 2. It's not as dispensable as doctors once believed. A few years ago, we thought it was a completely vestigial organ and that there wasn't much use to it, says Vaidya. Oh, we know there is use for the spleen. One relatively recent discovery is the spleen's role in producing red blood cells early in life. As we grow older, that function is taken over by the bone marrow and the spleen takes a back seat, but it does play a critical role in immunity, says Vaidya. A 2009 study published in Science found the spleen stores cells called monocytes, which come in handy when your body is fighting infection or repairing tissues. 3. Still, you can live without it. Some people have their spleen removed because of an accident, a blood disorder, or a blood-affecting cancer like leukemia. Luckily, it's not an essential organ like the heart or liver, and living spleen-free is doable so long as you take the appropriate precautions. You'll just need to receive immunizations for the bacteria the spleen usually guards against in order to stay healthy, says Vaidya. Doctors recommend getting the pneumococcal vaccine, which protects against bloodstream infections, pneumonia, and meningitis after your spleen is removed, with booster shots every 3 to 5 years. 4. An enlarged spleen could signal other health issues. The spleen becomes problematic when it grows in size. That could be a tip-off that some underlying problem is going on, such as mononucleosis or a blood condition like leukemia or lymphoma. An enlarged spleen in and of itself could also put you at risk since it's prone to rupture, says Vaidya. That usually happens as a result of an accident or an intense sports game and can lead to dangerous internal bleeding. 5. But it's tough to know if your spleen has gotten too big. It may only be found when you're in the doctor's office for an exam or if you have scans for another reason and the scan picks up an enlarged spleen, says Vaidya. That said, there are some clues, like pain on your left side, the result of the spleen pressing against your stomach, unexplained weight loss, queasiness, and nausea. Only when you feel sharp stabbing pain on your left side should you consider it an emergency. Otherwise, visit your doctor for a basic evaluation. 6. Some people have an extra one, and the hottest accessory of the season is an accessory spleen, or an extra, smaller spleen that many people have. One study published in the Malaysian Journal of Medical Sciences found nearly 20% of the 334 hospital patients they looked at have one, and 40% of the people in that group have more than 2. Not to worry, it won't affect your health, though it can be mistaken for a tumor. 7. What keeps your liver healthy will protect your spleen. 2. To keep your spleen in tip-top shape, adopt some of the same practices you'd follow for a healthy liver. Drink alcohol in moderation, don't exceed Tylenol doses beyond what is prescribed, and practice safe sex to protect against hepatitis, says Vaidya.